All right, I'm Rasmus from Glasklar Teknik. I contribute a lot to the Sigsum project, but now I'm going to talk about my side hustle or my passion project, which is definitely going to be done by Monday, similar to Dennis' project, which is silentct, a certificate transparency monitor that filters out the noise. And if that sounds vaguely familiar, or if perhaps I look vaguely familiar, then that's because I gave this talk last time. There we go. Same shirt, same cap, different microphone. And to bring you up to speed, last year I told you basically, why does silentct need to exist? So whenever you're running a CT monitor, then you're basically getting every certificate from the log. So whenever there's a renewal or you get a new certificate, then you would get a notification. So if you have a lot of sites, that means you get a lot of notifications. What I would like to build is something that's silent. So I would like you to only be notified if there is an unexpected certificate for your site. So for example, there's a misconfiguration or there's an actual certificate misissuance. And unless that's the case, then I want this to be dead silent. All right, so the setting I'm plugging into here is that you might be running your own website, so like your personal website, and you have like certbot and you're getting some Let's Encrypt certificates. Perhaps you're running multiple websites, or perhaps you're having multiple different hostings of the same website, so you have multiple things requesting certificates. Or maybe you have like a central component which is requesting certificates, and then you will push that to a website. So in order to get this sort of silent setup, then I'm going to make a fundamental trust assumptions, which is these systems that acquire the certificates, they're going to be trusted. So that is going to be like my baseline for how am I going to filter out the noise. If you can't trust those systems, then I'm sorry, I can't help you. So to give you an overview of how this works, then to the left here, we basically have a regular certificate transparency monitor. You go to the logs, you download each and every entry and spend lots and lots of megabit per second to do that. And you'll end up with a list with here are all the certificates for your domain. And then you're also going to combine this and you're going to pull these, what are the expected certificates from your trusted infrastructure, and you're going to compile a different allow list. And if those lists are the same, then you're happy and this monitor is not going to make a noise. But whenever they diverge and you find a certificate that you did not allow list, then you know that there's an issue. So maybe there's a misconfiguration or there has been misissuance, and that's the one you want to investigate. And when you're running this silentct monitor, then of course you need to trust this monitor, you need to trust whatever is pushing out the notifications. So if that is compromised, then I also can't help you. So concretely, if you're going to use this, so this is from my own personal website. So I'm using Let's Encrypt with certbot. And all I need to do is to add a post hook so that whenever there's a new certificate that has been issued, then I'm going to run this silentct Mac tool. And all it does is it basically puts a symmetric signature onto this certificate. And now my monitor will be able to know that this certificate has actually been allow listed cryptographically from this trusted system. So for example, you could pull this as a monitor, and then you could check that, yeah, it's from this particular system, here's the cryptographic MAC address, and here's the actual certificate. And then it knows it's originating from the system. Now, the way you would run this as a monitor, you need the configuration, and this is actually what I'm running for my own monitor. So I have to say which time am I going to start running the monitor from. So everything that happened in the past, I'm going to ignore, so I don't need to download a backlog, for example. Then I have to say, what are the certificates that I want, or like the domain names that I want to match on. So in this case, I want everything that matches rgdd.se. And then I have one trusted certificate requester. So it's going to have this shared secret that the monitor is using to verify, am I getting the allow list correctly? It's going to have a location where it pulls these allow listed certificates. Then I also have a way to specify what are the domains that are actually allowed to be in the certificate. So if that should go and be different, then this monitor will also detect that. So then you just click play, and it's going to figure out which logs to use. It's going to use the list that Jo was talking about earlier, and if you're unable to update that for a significant amount of time, like 30 days or something like that, then the monitor will stop and scream to the operator and not be silent anymore, which is great. So you can run this thing, and if there's an issue, then it will print a notice to standard out, and you can also pick out these via Prometheus metrics. So all working pretty well, I would say. So far, I've run it for roughly a year, and I have one major pay point, which is sometimes bad and sometimes okay. And it's those rate limits. So every now and then there's a log that's a bit too restrictive, and then I have to sort of escalate this as a warning, because if I'm falling behind, I need to do something about it. So I haven't had any issues with the silent property from the perspective of unexpected certificates, but I get a lot of the rate limit issues that I'm sort of having to escalate. So the good news is that if we have things like the static CT API, which is going to make this better, then also this will be good for the silent CT monitor that really wants no operational issues, basically. So to start summing up here, silent CT is about being notified only about the unexpected certificates. So this would be only the ones, basically you have an unexpected certificate if it's not been allow listed by one of your trusted systems. Everything else we will escalate up to the operator. And this is an open source implementation that you run yourself and just do those 2 configuration steps that I showed earlier. Just click play and it's going to work for the most part, other than sometimes having some rate limit issues. So in the future, I would like to add support for this static CT API, so I'm currently not supporting it, and that's on the top of the list to sort of add. I would like to add an async running mode, so right now you have to sort of run this on a server and it runs all the time. And it would be really cool to be able to run this in CI pipelines, for example, on the clock, like every hour. And then it's also quite expensive to run your own monitor, so it's many tens of megabits per second. So I would like to make that a few megabytes per day. And if that sounds like magic, or how would you even do that, then the good news is that that's the next talk by Martin. So I'm going to leave that for Martin. That is it, folks. There are a bunch of links that you can check out. So there's the silent CT repo with the open source implementation, there's the slides, and there's also my speaker info. Happy to take questions.
Questions?
Thank you for the talk. I think maybe you said something about that, but how do you authenticate the allow list?
Yes, I'm having a shared secret between the monitor and the system. So it's basically a cryptographic MAC. And then just compute the MAC with the shared secret, and then only the monitor and the trusted system is able to determine has this been allowed.
And you distribute that manually?
Yes. And you can have one per system, or you could have one for all of your systems if you wanted to. It's up to you. But you as a third party, for example, you can't make sense out of my allow listing for my personal site because it's a symmetric secret.
So yes, so this allow list you have, it is about looking at those endpoints or domains if those certificates are used, right?
Yeah, so the allow list is populated by like the same system that requests the certificate, and then you get a certificate chain. Then I just compute a MAC on that, and I will publish it on a website's endpoint, basically. So I already have a site, and I just put it on an arbitrary domain or arbitrary link, and then my monitor can pull that one.
So if adversary issues the certificate with like same subject names,
yes,
and use it on some other website, will it detect that?
Is your question if it asks for a different domain name in the certificate, will it detect that?
No, if I request the same set of domain names that like my certificate is, I would request exactly same set of common name as well as subject alternate names.
Yeah.
And so will that be detected?
Will it be detected that the certificate has been issued? What's your question? Sorry, I don't understand it.
So I mean, the allow list works on monitoring your actual endpoints or just matching the subject names that you specify in the allow list?
Okay, so the monitor always pulls everything that shows up at the endpoint, but it also pulls everything from the CT logs, right? So it's basically populating 2 databases, one that you're pulling from your sites and one that you're pulling from the CT logs, and then it computes the difference between those. And whenever they diverge, that's when you escalate that to an alert.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so we do something similar on Hardenized. We call it high assurance CT.
Yeah.
But we also have like allow list for CAs. So these are the trusted CAs. If the certificate is only from them, then that's not escalated. We also have like if that the certificate that is issued is seen on one of your endpoints, so it's seen on your trusted infrastructure. Then it's also silent kind of thing.
So, I mean, you could definitely build it that way. I don't currently do that with like pinning it on a particular certificate authority. Now it's instead, is the process that requesting it, has it sort of blessed the certificate, then it will not be notified.
Got it, thanks.
Any more? Excuse me. Yes, one here.
If it's completely silent because there's no misissuance, how do you know it's still running and hasn't broken?
I'm collecting the Prometheus metrics from it, like basically hourly. And whenever I'm unable to collect the Prometheus metrics, then something screams. And if that thing dies, well, then I don't know. So I have a cron job on both my laptop and my NUC, and that one will go and look at the Prometheus metrics, and then it will give me some alerts on my screen. And whenever it fails to SSH to the server and then get to the right place, then it's sad.
Any more? It always comes out louder than I expected to. Okay, another big round of applause for Rasmus for his great talk and everything he's done helping set up the schedule.